I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh. Yeah, that happens with Zoom.
Okay. Should we start over?
No, we shouldn't start over. We're in the thick of it. This is it. We're going.
Okay.
Tell me about your day, Allie.
Very boring.
Yeah.
Working through some tech stuff for our website.
Oh, that sounds fun. I like that kind of stuff.
I hate it.
Oh.
It's not going well.
Yeah, that's understandable. It can be really frustrating as well. And then when technology doesn't go your way and it's like a really big project and it affects your clients, then I can imagine it's frustrating.
On the bright side, I get to talk to lots of website users and lots of clients. So
yes.
Yeah.
I got your email about, checking and seeing how we're doing and if we're interested in purchasing and all that kind of stuff. So I would assume that you're getting a lot of feedback back from your clients.
I am.
So,
yeah.
I find that most people don't necessarily think about, maybe the possibility of selling until someone kind of drops it into their brains. So you may have found a lot of people that are like, hey, I was needing that little push.
Yeah, totally. Cool.
That's exciting. Is it foggy at your office?
Oh my God. It is so foggy. I can't see anything.
It's it's foggy at my office, but it's not too bad, but it's like an eerie, creepy fog because the sun is still kind of filtering through and it just looks weird.
Yeah. I can normally see quite a bit a ways down the road. I can see the ocean. I can see nothing right now.
Yeah, I was listening to Sea Fox this morning on my way into work, which I generally do on my drive into work. And I guess they use a hamburger scale for something else. I don't know if it's fog, but it's to do with some kind of weather system, I'm assuming. Someone said, oh, what's the hamburger rating of the fog? And they said, I don't know if we can use that. Maybe like a pizza or like a submarine sandwich. So they said it was their visibility scale was 87 subway footlongs out of their building. So.
Okay.
I could develop something like that.
Sure.
I'm into that. Anything to do with food, I'm into.
Totally.
Well, I was wanting to talk about, I came up with my top 5 things for this.
Okay.
And I was going to preface this by, it was my top 5 COVID friendly activities that you can do on a Friday night.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about this because, as you know, Jeremy and I had COVID last week.
Uh-huh.
So, you're stuck in your house for 5 days. And while that doesn't bother me, it drove Jeremy insane and he had cabin fever. So I came up with 5 COVID friendly things. Most of these are things that you can do just from staying at home, but also some things to do just being COVID friendly and going out into the world. So first thing, having Zoom dates. So Allie and I are having a Zoom date right now with our podcast, but this is something that I've been doing with my family and friends throughout all of COVID. And it's a really easy thing to do. You really just need a computer or your phone, which most people have. Zoom is free for the first 45 minutes. I pay for the Zoom premium, which I think is $20 for the year, and it's worth it. Then you can have as long of a Zoom call as you like. Things to do on your Zoom dates, obviously, chatting, but things like games that you can play in your own house. Dice games are really good for this because most people tend to have at least a few dice. Yahtzee is a really good one. The game 10,000 is a really fun game with dice. Or I know one of the guys that works in our office, he hosts a trivia night once a month on Zoom for his family. So he'll create a PowerPoint slideshow with all this trivia and stuff. And then he's the trivia game master and everybody else has to guess the questions on Zoom, which is a neat idea.
Yeah.
It's relaxing. It's something that you can kind of just keep on your phone or your computer while you're making dinner or just hanging out, having a glass of wine or whatever around that on the couch. So that's a good one. Number 2 would be like a virtual class, like a virtual paint night, for instance, which you can do through like the paint night companies, or you can, collect your own supplies and get your friends to collect their own supplies and then do all the same one at home. Again, a really fun thing, even if you just like throw on a Bob Ross episode and everyone does it, or you just like paint whatever you want to paint. Virtual cooking classes are really fun. There's a company called the London Chef in Victoria. And if you live in Victoria, you can actually get a cooking class where they will deliver the ingredients to you, or you can buy just the cooking class where they give you a list of what you need to go and buy. You get your ingredients and then you log on to I think it's through Zoom that they do it at the specified time, and they show you how to do everything, and you're with other people that are also doing the class. Or you can just keep your computer off or your video off, or you can just watch the video at any time whenever you want to. So then you don't have to attend the class. You can just decide one night, let's do our virtual cooking class, and you have all of your ingredients, and the dishes are really, really good, and they're not super difficult to make, but then it gets you making something that you might not have made before.
Cool.
That's a fun one. Another thing is a watch party. So there is like a website called Watch Party where you can either upload your own video, you can share your screen, you can integrate a YouTube video, and then you have a chat while you're watching it, and then you can chat, or you can also video call while watching the whatever video it is.
Right. So did you have a watch party with Deanna?
Okay, so we tried to do a watch party through Disney Plus, because apparently Disney Plus has a watch party option integrated. Right. We could not figure it out. We could not understand if it's because we were trying to watch it on our TV Disney app, and it gives you the option to create a watch party, but then it doesn't give you an option to share that link. So then we couldn't figure out how you get anybody else on the watch party. So I tried doing it on my phone app and texting her the link, but then she could only watch it on her phone, even though my Disney app on my TV showed I was in a watch party, but she couldn't join it. It was very confusing. So if anyone's done this before, please let me know, because I do think that's a good idea. And it synchronizes it so then someone can pause it, and then it's a great idea. My last thing is getting takeout and going somewhere, going for a drive, because it's kind of cold right now. And even though the days are getting longer and a little bit lighter, it still gets dark fairly early. So getting takeout and going and maybe sitting down by the beach, or just taking a drive and going and finding your favorite view and eating your takeout from a local restaurant. Sometimes even just a little bit of a new environment while eating dinner is enough just to give you a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
Those are my COVID friendly ideas.
Wow. Those are great. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Stay tuned for our next episode, where I will provide you with my top 5 places to go for Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
I was going to do that this week, and then I figured it's just not quite close enough to Valentine's Day.
Almost.
Yeah. Almost there. We'll get there.
It is your birthday week.
It's close to my birthday. Only 2 more days. Yes, I'm entering my final year of my 20s. Mm-hmm. Which is, I didn't think I was going to feel sad, but I am sad a little.
I was devastated.
I know everyone always says that when they turn 30, it's horrifying. And I'm not too concerned about that. But then I thought,
you get over it quickly.
Oh, this is my last year of my 20s. I feel like I didn't do enough. I just feel like I wasn't crazy enough in my 20s.
Well, maybe not. But you did accomplish quite a bit.
I would agree with that. I would say that I have definitely accomplished more than I thought that I ever would have before the time I turned 30. So
good for you.
Thank you. So I'm very proud of myself for that, I will say. But then the other side of that token is that I wasn't crazy enough in my 20s, but I'm also just not that kind of person. So clearly, because I would rather achieve than, party, but
you're too old to start doing drugs. So
exactly. I'm too old just to have well, I'm also married, but I'm too old to have like one night stands or
exactly. You're married. So, I mean, that ship has also sailed.
Which I'm totally fine with. I would choose married life 9 times out of 10. Okay. Have you seen the movie Ibiza?
Yes.
I watched it for the first time last night and I had never seen it before.
Oh, it was pretty good.
It's a good movie. Deanna had told me about it and she said, you got to watch it because it has Richard Madden in it. And I love Richard Madden.
I don't even know who that is.
So sexy. He's DJ he's the only real male.
I don't even remember it.
And you don't watch Game of Thrones, but he's in Game of Thrones as well. Anyways. So I decided last night, Jeremy went to hockey and I thought, whatever, I'll just put it on. I'll see if I like it. And as much as it's an extremely random movie, it was actually pretty good. But the whole time I'm watching it, I was just it gave me a lot of anxiety because they're just like, oh yeah, let's just go to Spain and drugs. Sure. I'll have some ecstasy, whatever. Oh, random guy's house having a big party. Sure. Oh, Ativan. Yeah, I'll take a few of those. And I'm the whole time I'm I would never do this. This just isn't my deal. It's just not my vibe. I have no interest. I'm so happy that I'm married and I can just go home to somebody every night and in my comfortable house.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, I watched a TikTok the other day of this mom with her baby and it made me cry. And I was like, oh God, am I already becoming that person who cries at everything? When I'm pregnant, it's going to be horrible. I'm going to cry at everything.
Oh, I'm already there.
Yeah, you do. You cry a lot. Actually, you cry way more than I cry.
I cry all the time. It's ridiculous. I'll tell you the story of why I was crying yesterday. I think I've already told you this, but I'll tell it for the podcast.
Okay, go.
Okay. So I haven't really been feeling that great. Mostly just been really, really, really tired. And so I decided I'm going to go and get tested for COVID because I just have these kind of vague symptoms.
Which is fair. It presents very differently in everybody. And
exactly.
Pretty normal to think nowadays that you would have COVID.
I know. So I knew I didn't have a cold or flu or anything like that. So I'm okay, I'll get tested. So I called the number to get COVID test. Mm-hmm. They provide you with a code and then you enter that code into the computer or your phone. And, then they take you to a website that you can book your appointment. So I booked an appointment for an hour later.
I can't believe you got in that quick.
They had tons of appointments that day. Tons.
I wasn't available to pick up until the next day, midday. I'm shocked that you were.
Oh my God.
So fast.
It was I wanted to get the next appointment, but I was I can't even get there in time to make that appointment. So I booked my appointment for an hour from that time. Yeah. So that's fine. I did that on my computer. I wrote down the code on this piece of paper I had on my kitchen table, blah, blah, blah. I drive to the place, which is a 15-minute drive. Drive there. I'm sitting in my car and I'm oh, I was supposed to take a screenshot. I didn't take a screenshot on my computer.
No.
Damn it. And I don't have my code either. I left that on my kitchen table. So I go in
to them.
So I go in and there's security guards there and he's like, hey, do you have your screenshot? And I said, I don't have my screenshot. I registered on my computer and I don't have the code either. That's on my kitchen table. And he's like, well, you need the screenshot. Otherwise you can't get your COVID test. And I was like, oh my God, I have to go all the way home. And so I just start bawling my eyes out because I was like, what am I doing? Why am I being so stupid? And then it gets worse. I drive all the way home and I go onto my computer. I see that I've closed out of the screen, so it's gone. And then I'm like, it got
emailed to you.
It got emailed to me. So I had to reschedule it. So that's fine. And then I realized So I rescheduled it. I got a new email and a new text. I had a text and an email the whole time on my phone. So I started crying even harder because of how stupid I was being.
It was at this point in the story that I was like, didn't you have your phone with you? Like,
yeah, but like,
why would you just look at your email?
I had my phone in my hand the whole time. Why didn't the security guard say, hey, didn't get
you get a text?
No, he just said screenshot. And I was like, I didn't take a screenshot. I don't have it.
It's funny how your brain works like that too, because you get focused on that one little thing and all you think is, oh my God, no, I didn't.
No, I don't have the screenshot. And I was like, you know what?
Scrolling through your phone. I'm like, there's no screenshot.
I know. I'm like, this is a lot to expect of people who have COVID. But yeah, how stupid was that?
Oh, Allie. I know. I don't know what happened to you. It's like, I think within the last year, you've gotten more emotional.
I know. And I called Kurt just like bawling my eyes out about this. And yesterday he goes, you really need to work on your reactions. Like, what do you mean? Well, he phrased the question a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But what he was trying to say was I called him bawling and he was like, who died?
Oh God,
like what happened?
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh my God, are the dogs okay? Is everyone okay? What's going on? And I was like, no, I'm just being stupid about this COVID test.
And being super dramatic as well.
So he's like, yeah, maybe don't call me when you're crying. But I wanted to because I was upset.
Well, you just want to share it with somebody and have them understand why you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
And validate your feelings as well.
Exactly. But no.
Well,
the opposite.
The solace of this story is that you do not have COVID. So that's good. So
it was 2 tests. I tested twice.
Oh, you did
negative.
Both. I wasn't sure if you were going to give one or not.
No, because he's fine. But I did a second test because I heard that if you swab your throat also and your nose, then you're more likely to get a positive result if you have COVID. Because somebody else in my family tested negative and was still feeling like really, really sick, took a second test, swabbed the throat and the nose, then tested positive. So I was like, okay, I want to know. But yeah, so I did all that and I still tested negative.
Yeah, which is good. Well, apparently there is like another little cold going around too. So
yeah,
who knows? And you know what? It could have been like something you ate or whatever, right? And you just weren't feeling good. So
yes.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I can't believe that you got 2 tests.
Yeah.
I wish that they'd given us 2 tests, but
I don't know. I didn't ask for 2 tests.
It's crazy. Times that we're living in, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Since we were just on the topic of movies, I never watch movies because they're too long. I would literally rather watch 8 episodes of a TV show than watch one movie because it's just too long. But I did watch a really good movie on Amazon Prime.
Ooh, what was it?
Queen Pins with Kristen Bell and Kirby Howell Baptiste. So good.
What is that about?
Okay. It is about these 2 stay-at-home housewives. Well, one of them, stay-at-home wives that have a coupon. They're couponers. And then they decide to come up with this coupon scam. Oh. And they make millions and millions and millions of dollars from this coupon.
What?
It's a really good movie.
Oh, okay. I need to watch that because I've seen it come up and I really like Kristen Bell. So I'm happy to watch her in anything, but okay, I'm going to watch that. Speaking of making millions and millions of dollars, have you seen the documentary Lula Rich?
Not yet.
It's so good. To see it. So like, I didn't know anything about LuLaRoe. I had never even heard of it until I had seen that documentary come out and I heard other people kind of talk about it. But watching the documentary, it really makes you realize like that whole company was massive. They had 90,000 retailers by the end of the whole thing. Well, they still have retailers, but they don't have as many. But like at one point they had 90,000 and they were generating like millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it's shocking to see their different business practices and how it all came to be that way. And it didn't start out trying to be a pyramid scheme. And then the more that it grew and the more that it grew, they started to recognize how they were making more money off of signing up more people. And then it grew into this pyramid scheme. But the people who own the company are just completely adamant that that's not what it is. That's not what we're trying to be. That's not how you make your money.
They always do.
Oh, of course. But some of these retailers were making like $100,000 per check in a month.
My God.
Just for signing up people underneath them. Like it's insane. Wow. So it's heavily worth a watch. It's on Amazon Prime. I believe it's 6 episodes. Lula Rich. And then there's another one called like The Making of LuLaRoe or something like that I haven't watched, but I've heard it's very similar. There's just kind of different people that they interview, but it's insanity. Yeah. I just can't imagine that. And like, we never even heard about that company. No. I had never even heard of LuLaRoe.
Yeah. It's not really big up here.
No. The clothing's kind of tacky. I don't really,
no shit.
I don't really get it. Like I'm not like a big like leggings wearer in general, but if I do, it's only black. Like I don't own a single other pair of leggings, you know? So like, I don't understand the ones that have like a cheeseburger pattern.
No, I'm not going to wear that.
Never wear that.
No.
So I don't really understand, but anyways, should we talk about Salt Lake City?
Oh
my God, Salt Lake City. The episodes are getting crazier, and
they really are.
Believing you when you say next week looks even crazier.
I say that every week.
I know. And this last week, it was nuts.
It was such a roller coaster. Like, you think everything's fine, and then the next minute, Meredith is screaming. Oh my God.
Meredith keeps being like, you know what, sweetie? I'm done with this. Bye-bye. Goodbye. I'm out. Goodbye. Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, it's like, Meredith, haven't you said like 5 times that you were leaving and that you were done? Yeah. I'm disengaging with this. And then all of a sudden she's back. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You're fueling the fire. Haven't you learned if you don't fuel the fire, then there's nothing to talk about? Like,
my family is off limits. Oh my God. When she gets angry and she does the head shake like that. Like, oh my God, when they went ice fishing and her sunglasses flew off of her head, that was like the funniest thing
I cannot stand how she wears sunglasses inside. It drives me insane. She's always wearing them. Like, doesn't that bother you wearing your sunglasses inside? I just don't understand.
I can't do it.
I also this is like, it's human nature, and this is all just like a big social experiment, and this is just what irritates me sometimes is I just want to insert myself into these situations and mediate, because like Lisa Barlow comes in and says, there was talk about your dad's memorial. And then it turns into this whole thing about how people are questioning that her dad's memorial was fake. Where then if you go back to what actually was said in the bus, they weren't questioning that it was fake.
No.
They were questioning that why she wasn't on the bus with them to go to Vail, and was she actually in Aspen for that long for her dad's memorial? What was going on? Where was she actually? Because there was mixed stories about who had talked to her and where she was and where she said she was.
Yeah, well, and it seems like there's like a miscommunication of timeline. Like Heather thought it was on Monday. Lisa thought it was on Tuesday.
I don't really know why it's that big of a deal, because like if she didn't want to be on the bus, she didn't want to be on the bus. I mean,
guess what? It's going to come up next week too.
Yes. And so this is just kind of the thing, is that it all gets spewed into this whole thing. And then Meredith comes downstairs, and the first thing she says is, we need to talk about how disgusting it is that people are saying that this is fake. And it's like, okay, nobody said that.
Nobody said that.
And you're creating this huge scenario for no reason. And so it drives me so insane. And then you have Mary, who's being so rude to Jenny and about Jenny.
Yeah.
And then her backhanded apology of, I'm just really sorry. It's just like I put up a wall with new people. Well, that doesn't really excuse you from being like a horrible person, though.
No, and you're going to see them next week. Jenny is going to try and get to know Mary a little bit more. And she asks like, oh, like, how's your husband or something? She's like, I don't talk about that with you.
I don't talk about that with people that I just don't really know. Well, how do you expect to get to know somebody if you're not willing to talk about those kinds of things? Like, yeah. It irritates me so much, but it's very entertaining. So like, I love watching it, but it just blows my mind. I also love how we've now completely gotten away from the whole, like Jen committing fraud and like all of these things. And now it's just turned into this insanity of like, you're my friend and you're not my friend and you're doing this and this. And oh my God, it's just like, I can't. It's driving me.
Oh, I love it so much.
Speaking of which, did you watch The Bachelor at all this week? Are you watching The Bachelor?
I haven't watched it since the first episode.
Okay, well. So remember how I told you that the last episode, he had given a rose to somebody and then he found out something about her. So he wanted to take the rose back.
Yes.
Okay. Well, last week it wasn't on, I think because it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day last Monday. So they didn't have the episode. So this week was the continuation of the first week. So he finds out that Cassidy actually had like a friends with benefits before she was on the show. And she was FaceTiming him before she like got into the limo to go and meet him. And she made the mistake of telling one of the other girls, why would you do that? Because that girl is not your friend. I'm sorry. She's there for Clayton.
How does she even have her phone? I thought they had their phones taken away.
They're allowed to have their phones, I think, up until they do the limo thing, because there was another first episode who was like, I don't know if I can be here. And she was allowed to phone her family.
Right.
So I think that they're allowed to keep their phones to a certain point. And so I guess Cassidy made the mistake of telling the other girls, like, yeah, you know, he's basically said, if it doesn't work out with me and Clayton, like when I come home, maybe we can like get together. And like, okay, well, that doesn't make you look very good. No. So comes out to Clayton that had happened. And so then Clayton says to her, you know, is this true? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know where that came from. Like, that's just mind blowing to me that would even happen. And then he's like, okay, I need a minute. And he walks away and he comes back and he goes, so were you FaceTiming with the guy beforehand? And she's like, okay, yeah, here's the deal. And he's like, okay, you need to leave. You need to go home. Cool. Well, there's another chick on this show who I really liked to begin with, but it turns out she's a psycho. And she's one of those people who doesn't like another person. So then she's the one creating all of the drama surrounding the situation, but won't take any accountability or even acknowledge the fact that she's being like this. So she's constantly being like, I hate Elizabeth. All of the girls just absolutely hate her in the house. She's so fake. I don't even know why she's still here. This is so she does that. And then in reality, it's showing Elizabeth and it's like, she's not doing any of the things that she's saying. And so the whole time I'm yelling at the TV being like, you're a psychopath. How are you still here? But of course, Clayton is like, oh my God, I can't believe that Elizabeth is being like that to you. And it's like, that's not what's actually happening. Reality TV, I tell you.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's so entertaining.
It really is. I've been watching Paris in Love. It's like...
I've never watched that.
Oh, it's good. I mean, I like her. So I started watching the season finale this morning and like, I'm learning a lot about like what I don't want to do for my wedding because she's just so stressed out.
Yeah. For no reason.
She's writing her vows literally until the very last second she's walking down the aisle.
No.
Like she's an hour and a half late to her wedding. And at the very last second, they're like, are you going to read them off of your phone? And she's like, no, I can't read them off my phone. I'll look like I'm texting. And so she has to have somebody print her vows off, and that's why she's late, basically. And like, still, like, she's at the place, and she's still like, I'm writing my vows. And they're like, no, we need to go.
Like, that's just one of those things that's like not important enough to be late to your wedding for.
She ended up throwing the paper on the floor and then just speaking from the heart.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing, is like, if you don't know what to say and you don't know what to write, then just speak from the heart. And guess what? Nobody fucking remembers their vows. No. I do not remember what Jeremy said to me, and I don't remember what I said to him. And we don't even have the pieces of paper anymore that our vows are on. So guess what? It's out in the world now, and we'll never know. Yeah. So, like, that's so silly. I can't imagine being late for my ceremony, but like an hour and a half late. Late for no reason.
Well, and she was getting ready at the venue, so it's not like
you
traffic.
Didn't have to
They didn't have to know.
That's ridiculous.
It was a little much. And Kathy, her mom, Kathy Hilton, was just being way too much.
Really? What?
So Paris made all of the seating charts the night before, because she's unorganized, the night before.
What?
And then Kathy changed everything. And Paris was so pissed, because she's like, I want to be surrounded by my friends. And then Kathy moved everything. So like, it was all Kathy's friends were the only people around Paris.
Oh my God. This is why you don't let anybody else involved with the plan of your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm sure that's just giving you like, okay, won't be doing that. Won't be doing this.
No.
I'm just sending you wedding planning TikToks every time I see them.
I know. And I appreciate it.
Yes, no problem at all.
Love it. I'm starting to think about it.
That's how you build those different things. Oh, I also, I had lent my wedding planning book. Like, I took my course and I got like a full textbook of all these different things. I lent it to one of the guys that I work with, and he's giving it back to me tomorrow. So I'm going to give that to you as well.
Yay. I can't wait.
It's a huge amount of information. So
yeah.
It can be overwhelming. There's a lot there's a lot available, a lot of information available. And then of course you constantly get those people that are like, well, I did this and I didn't do this, and here's why. And it's like, well, but those might work for me or what I want to do. And, so
yeah.
Pinterest, you need to start a Pinterest board. It helps you just kind of like build the style that you're looking for, and like give you different ideas and give you different themes of just kind of where you're going. We also need to schedule time to try on dresses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had mine bought already by this.
I know. And I'm just not going to be that way.
I know.
I feel like September is when I'll probably start looking.
September?
Yeah.
You need to wait that long for you to try on dresses?
Definitely.
Oh my God, I can't handle that. That's too long from now.
No, that's okay. I think I'm going to probably ask my bridesmaids maybe like this week or next week.
That's fair. Okay. That's some progress.
Something, right?
I can work with this.
Yeah.
I definitely, that was like my most exciting thing. Like, I was just so excited about going and looking at dresses.
Oh, that's my least favorite thing.
You're crazy. I was like, sometimes I just put my dress on and I just walk around the house.
That's really funny.
Well, I just wish I could wear it again. I mean, when are you ever going to wear it? Never.
I don't know. Never. Probably.
It's depressing. Maybe I'll wear it on my birthday. I'll show up to dinner in my wedding dress.
Oh my God. That's really funny. I'm excited to celebrate your birthday.
I'm excited to celebrate my birthday too, actually. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of things that we could do because we can only have 6 people at a restaurant. So that's kind of a bummer. And I'm trying not to spend a lot of money. And then I thought about this today, actually, about how it would have maybe been a cool idea to like do little boxes of like all the ingredients to make a cocktail or like painting box or whatever, and then go and drop it off at all of my friends' houses and then have like a Zoom call or something and done it all together. Cause that's the only unfortunate part is you can't all do something. Right. But I mean, whatever, it is what it is. It's not like it's like that big of a birthday. It's just 29.
AKA not 30.
AKA not 30, but my 30th, I'm the most excited for it because it's my champagne birthday and
right.
I want to go crazy. So
yeah,
you keep that in mind. You plan a year from now. I'll try not to go to Nashville so that we can stay here.
Okay. You'll probably be pregnant.
You know, that's probably accurate. I've been thinking more and more about getting pregnant lately, and it's something that I really want to do. So part of me, like I was telling Jeremy the other day, I'm like, so I figured out with our trip, I'm like, I'm ovulating the week before we leave. So I'm like, you know, if we want to be trying to get pregnant, like that's something we should be considering in the next like few months. And he's like, oh my God, that's so soon. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like,
wasn't he the one who wanted?
He's been asking me for 3 years to have.
Yeah, exactly.
So but his thing is he's really concerned about daycare because some of our friends are getting quoted like $1,800 for daycare for the month. And that's only taking your kid there like 3 days a week. Oh, God. And I mean, like that's a mortgage payment. So we can't afford that. And I used to think, oh, well, my mom like could do it, but now my mom works for me. So she's not watching my kids today. And like Jeremy's parents don't live here and eventually they might move here. But like, also, I mean, that's a lot of burden to put on somebody for like full-time daycare. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, so then what are our other options? So that's what he's the most afraid about is like, okay, cool, we have a baby, but then what do we do after that? And where I'm just mostly thinking like, I just think of me like, I'm looking forward to being pregnant and then I'm looking forward to having a baby, but the actual like act of having the baby is what I'm the most scared of because I'm very scared of giving birth.
Yeah, that's normal. I'm
terrified already. Yeah. And so then it's like the moment that you get pregnant, it's like exciting, but then it's like, oh God, I'm actually having to do this. Like, you know, so, but I kind of feel like I might be pregnant when I'm 30 as well. So we'll just wait and see because time will tell. I could try for the next year and not even get pregnant. So
that's true.
Know, there's just no way of knowing.
Nope. So, time will tell.
Take that one step at a time. Anyways, we are so busy with work this past like week. I don't know. This kind of happened last year too. It's like people kind of get over that, like, okay, we spent so much money at Christmas and resolutions. And then I think they start thinking about springtime and their projects. So we have just this week alone, we've sent out $1.3 million in quotes. Wow. Yeah. Like we have a project that we're working on with a First Nations band to do 60 of our Daniel units, which are the ones that we did last year with Couch and Tribes. They're little like 200 square foot units that we outfitted with a bathroom, kitchen, and like studio bedroom. Mm-hmm. So we're working on 60 of those. And then we've got like a lot of interest from the Gulf Islands right now for big projects. Like a lot of people right now are wanting to do Airbnbs. Oh, okay. So seeing a lot of big pieces of property that are being purchased, and then they're looking for like 10 to 15 units to use as Airbnbs or as cabins, which is kind of neat. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a great deal of that. And then we decided to bring back one of our custom models. And so since we've launched that, we've seen quite a huge like response from that. So I'm really excited for these next few weeks to kind of see which of those fruition and the different projects that we kind of get under our belts. Because we had the intention of, seeing a huge increase this year. And so if it's anything like last year, then these next couple of months will be quite busy. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we're only 4 months away from going on my trip, which I'm excited.
Yeah, that is very exciting.
I know. This is just going to be a good year, Allie. I'm looking forward to it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's been a change in the winds for sure. So
yeah, a change in the winds.
Yes. And the market is still going insane for you. So
yeah, the real estate market is going insane. Finally,
we talked about it. Like we talked about how we thought that this time of the year was going to be crazy because this is kind of when it was last year.
Yeah. The good news is we've started to see like a few more listings, and I do mean a few, but more than we had last week. So,
oh my God, did you ever think that you'd be saying that? Like, oh yeah,
no,
a few more listings.
No. Yeah, it's just wild out there. So, it's a good time to sell.
Yeah, it's a great time to sell. Like I was looking the other day, just kind of keeping an eye, and I saw some townhouses, and I'm like, $600,000 for a townhouse. That's crazy. And then I'm like, okay, let's look at some of the other houses. I'm like, these are all around 900 grand. And like, and there's nothing. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see the market stats when they come out next week for January.
I was say that. Yeah. I'm interested to see that as well. Cause, remind me, I think last month it was like 860 around that.
It was around that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Madness. Yeah. So if you are looking to sell your house, this is seriously the best time, but it can be challenging, obviously, with then where do you go?
Yeah. But got to figure it out.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I mean,
what it is.
The thing is I really don't think that there's going to be this massive bubble burst where the market completely falls. I mean, traditionally markets are only falling about 10%. So
yeah, I don't think this whole crash is going to happen like some people are saying. And I feel like this is not based on data. This is just wishful thinking for first-time buyers, but I just don't think that that's going to happen.
Yeah. Really good point that I saw another realtor posted the other day was some grants and like applications that you can make use of if you're a first-time home buyer. So I just want to pull that up because I thought that was really interesting. And there was some on there that I had never heard of before. So it's not on there anymore. It was on Instagram stories. So I missed that, but look into that for like as a first-time home buyer. Cause of course, like there is the homeowners grant, but there was a few other ones on there that I had never heard of before. Like one had to do with your RRSPs. I'm going to have to look it up. I'll try to look it up and then I'll see if we can make a post and put it onto our Instagram, but definitely try to utilize that. I mean, there's so much money that goes unused every year, and that has to do with grants, bursaries, scholarships, but like, why not utilize that stuff for a big purchase like this? Look into that.
Yeah. Good idea.
Do your research.
Absolutely.
Yes. I wanted to do a shout out to the Nanaimo Veterinary Hospital.
Right.
That's my vet. They are amazing. So I feel bad about this now because not last week, but the week before, I was talking about like how great my cat was doing. And then I had to put my cat down last week. So, which is really unfortunate, but the Nanaimo Veterinary Hospital was super great throughout my entire process with them of his diagnosis and his palliative care. And I think vets and like, well, I know vets it can be challenging because a lot of people have very different experiences depending on where they go. And so I think some vets just kind of get a bad rap sometimes because, you know, a lot of the times you're going and it's expensive and they find new things and they they kind of almost pressure you sometimes to do certain things, where I found that the Nanaimo Veterinary Hospital is really good at explaining, this is what we found. This is our advice. This is what we think, but how can we make it work for you? What's going to make sense for your lifestyle and for your budget? And, if you do this, this can be the outcome. If you don't do this, this can be the outcome. And they make you feel like you're making an educated decision rather than feeling pressured into doing something that's maybe not needed. Like, for instance, when Oliver was diagnosed, I took him in for a teeth cleaning, and that's how they determined this was doing blood work, that was a standard procedure as part of the teeth cleaning. Mm-hmm. They came back and they said, it just doesn't really make sense to do his teeth because he's stage 4 and he's probably not going to live that long. And it doesn't make sense to put him under the anesthetic and all that kind of stuff. Well, some vets may have said, well, you should really still do his teeth because, he'll need it for when he's eating and stuff. And everyone should get their teeth cleaned. And that would have cost me potentially another $1,500.
Yeah. There's no point.
There's no point. And so I'm really happy that they kind of talked me through that decision and didn't make me feel pressured to do that. And it was like that throughout most of his palliative care, which was awesome. And then when we finally put him down, we weren't able to take him there because they were closed on the weekend. So we took him to the Central Island Emergency Hospital, which is also awesome. And I never even told my vet that we had put him down, but I'm assuming they obviously communicate with each other. And I received a really lovely card in the mail from our vet hospital with a really nice personalized note about the cat, which made me feel so good that they treat me like I'm special and that it was a one-on-one thing. Because think about how many animals each vet sees in a year, in a day, whatever. Right. So I was just super, super happy with the service that we got and just, the transparency and the honesty and just the kindness from them. So I highly recommend the Nanaimo Veterinary Hospital 9 times out of 10. Yeah. Where do you take? Oh yeah. You take Dobby there.
No, I don't. I take him to Island Vet.
Island Vet. Yes. Yeah. Where's that?
On Bowen Road.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. I know which one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've heard good things about Island Vet. I've also heard good things about Applecross Vet as well.
Yeah.
So maybe one of my next top 5s will be the top 5 vets. As per Google reviews.
Wow. Okay.
I'll work on that.
Okay. You work on that.
Yeah, I shall.
Yeah. God, what was I going to say? I forget.
This is why you should really write these things down, Ellen.
I know. This is my notes for today.
These are my notes for today. But most of them are my top 5. So now, see how we were talking about the fog before? I showed this window so that you could see out there, and you couldn't see anything out there. Mm-hmm. And now you can start to see one of the houses. So you can see how foggy.
Well, it's dark outside now.
Yeah, it's not too bad out here, but
it's pitch black.
You're closer to the horizon than
I guess.
It gets darker there faster.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm excited for? I booked a yoga class tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yes.
Very exciting.
I tried to book a yoga class today, but all of the Tasha's classes were booked. And because yoga studios and other group fitness classes, you have to have a 7-meter radius between everybody. So Moto can only have 10 people per class. So I clearly didn't jump on it fast enough for Tasha's class. And she always is a really popular teacher. And so missed out on that. But I've got a class tomorrow and on Sunday. So I'm really, really excited about that.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm excited to get back into the groove of this stuff.
Totally. Yeah. I've been going to the gym.
Yes.
I haven't been in a couple of days because I haven't been feeling well, but
that's fair.
I am excited to go back. Sunday is there's some big football on Sunday.
Yes. So this is to determine who's getting into the Super Bowl, correct?
That's right. Yeah. So there's 2 games, the AFC and NFC championships, to find out who's going to the Super Bowl.
So it's Bengals and KFC. Bengals and KC.
Yeah.
And then
the Rams and the 49ers.
Right. Okay. Who are you cheering for then in
the Rams? The
Rams.
San Fran can go die.
Well, then I hope that the Super Bowl is a Rams Kansas City final.
I'd be okay with that. I don't really care about the Bengals or the Chiefs, so either one is fine with me.
I would love the Chiefs to win, so that's who I'll be cheering for.
It would be really, really crazy if the Bengals got into the Super Bowl.
I feel like, though, Dustin, I think, has a bet that the Bengals will win.
I bet he does.
On at the beginning of the season.
What?
Yes. Like he has a potential to win like $8,000 or something. Like he put it on, or it was something, maybe the Bengals to get to the semifinals or something like that. But it was like he did this a long time ago. It was a $10 bet and he had the potential to win like a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm sure Dustin's really excited about that. I'm just happy that Tom Brady isn't playing.
Oh, me too. I hope he retires. I am done watching him.
Finally have a Super Bowl without Tom Brady.
I never want to see him play another game.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'm over it too.
Like, you know what? You're old enough now. You and your wife, you bugger off, you retire. We're over it. We're ready for some other people to start winning.
Agree.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was happy that my dad got to see his favorite team win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And then, of course, they lost last year, but I would be happy to see them go in again. I mean, they're a pretty good team. My dad said he cried when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah. So I'm like hoping it'd be nice to see them, but like any team, as long as it's not the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree. Patrick Mahomes' fiance. Have you seen?
No, I heard about this a little bit.
He is just not a nice person. Okay, so most recently, the Kansas City Chiefs won on Sunday.
Yes.
Or Saturday. I can't remember.
Sunday.
So they show her, she's in one of those like skyboxes. And so she opens the window and she's shooting champagne out the window all over the Chiefs fans that are sitting out in the cold.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And so people were like, that is like, you can't do that. Like, you're being horrible. I'm sure she got like death threats and
all
stuff.
All you're doing is like flouting the fact that you are in a skybox drinking champagne.
Spray it all over yourself.
Exactly. Like not
spray it all over the people that are outside in the cold. Freezing cold. They're wearing winter coats. Like you're spraying them. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then she responded to people hating on her. And she's like, you guys are all haters. These people who are hating on me don't know what it's like to win, blah, 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 blah.
No.
You didn't win anything. Your husband won.
You were sitting in a skybox.
You're a fan. They're a fan. Why are you spraying them? It's so fucking rude.
Oh, that's irritating. I don't like stuff like that. I just think the whole spraying people with anything thing, like, I'm good.
No, please, I know that.
Spray me with anything. I'm okay.
It's not nice.
No.
I would be very upset if that was me.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that either. It's like spraying crowds with water and stuff. I just, no.
No, you don't do that. This is what I was going to tell you. I found a Wordle app called Wordus.
Really?
Yep. WORDUS. It's exactly the same as Wordle, except for you can play it infinite amount of times.
But does it have the same daily word as Wordle?
No, because you can play it a million times a day.
Oh.
There's no daily anything. You can just play it as much as you want.
Okay, well, I'm into that. Also, to just pinpoint onto that, I found a Reddit link that's I can share the link because it's like a weird link of what it is, but it's a Wordle archive. So someone's created a Wordle archive and you can play this same word as the actual Wordle. And then you can also play past Wordles as well. Because what I don't like about, I found a Wordle app, but I don't like it because it's not the same word. So then what's the point? That's good to know.
This is fun. I've been playing it. Like, you can just play it as much as you want.
I like Wordle because the link that I found also that has the archive, it also has a game called Word Race, and it's Wordle, but you're playing live with somebody and you're both trying to get the same word and you only have 6 guesses and it's whoever can get there fast enough. And I love that. I'm obsessed with Wordle. Did you play the word today?
I did at like 2 a.m. when I woke up.
Really?
Yeah.
I got it in 5 tries.
I do not recall. I was half asleep.
I still cannot get under 4 tries.
No.
The annoying thing is that when I've done the past Wordles in the archive, I'm like getting it pretty quickly. And then with these ones, I don't know the word that I'm using to start. Remember how I told you to use the word irate?
Oh, yeah.
So that was based on, I watched a TikTok of this guy who's a linguist, and he said that, you want to try to use words as your starting word that have the most common letters used in the English language. And so he said that based on all the mathematics, the word irate is the best word.
Okay.
That makes sense because R, T, A, E, like those are all really common. I've used that 3 times now, and every single time it's come up all gray letters. I'm like, okay.
I just tried it on this one, and A was the only one.
There you go.
But it's in the right spot.
I'm not using irate anymore. I tried using start and I liked it. And I also tried using audio or frame is another good one.
Yeah.
So like I find that M has been coming up a lot lately.
Yes.
So I like this game. I love word games. Like I'm a huge word puzzle person. So like, this is right up my alley. And I remember seeing someone posting about Wordle on Facebook and I'm like, I don't know what that is. And then I kept seeing more and more people posting about it. And then I'm like, okay, I got to jump on board with this. And then now I'm like, how have I missed out on 216 days playing this game?
I know. My mother-in-law is very into Wordle.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, should we wrap it up?
Yes, I would say so. It's time to just move on to our rest of our day. Gotta go make some dinner, all that jazz. This has been lovely chatting with you, Allie.
Yeah. The next time I see you will be at your birthday.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Me too.
All right, well, this has been lovely. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to check out our previous episodes, which are all on Spotify and YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for listening.